What is this about? A prestigious award. What is the award? Shanti Nagar or Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar Prize or award. It is given to scientists. Some important words are there. Shall I start the session? How does it start? Broadening the field. You all know the word broad. Broad is write the word or underline the word broad. Broad road. What part of speech is it when I say broad road? You have to respond. Adjective. But here, is it, what is the word? Is it broad or broaden? And write the word broaden. Broaden, which part of speech is it? Broaden is a verb. It is a regular verb. Broaden, broadened, broadened. That you have to know. Broad is an adjective. Broaden is a verb. Broadening what? The field. What is a field? Scientific field. On science awards and the Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar Prize winners. But what is the main idea of this editorial? Science award should aim, underline the word should. Because I see a lot of new students, I would like to touch grammar part as well. Senior students, you could respond, what is this word should? Helping verb. It has two functions. What are the two functions? First one, you can write if you don't know. It is used to advise or suggest. It is used to advise or suggest someone. First function. Someone is wasting time. What do you say? You should not waste your time. Someone wants to buy a particular book. You want to suggest. What will you say? You should buy that book. Have you got the first function of should? Either advise or suggest. Students ask me, sir, what is the difference between advise and suggest? Underline the word advise. Below you write general. Advise is a general thing. Write the word general. Underline the word suggest. What is the first letter in suggest? Yes. Below that you write specific. What is the first letter in specific? Yes. Remember that way. General, advise. Specific, suggest. This is the first function. Write the second function of should. It is used to express a possibility. Underline the word possibility. Bracket you write less chances. Possibility may or may not happen, but here chances are less. In English, we have 4 helping verbs to express the possibility. What are the 4 helping verbs? One is may. May chances are more. You have to, if you don't know, please write important. May chances are more. Possibility chances are more. But chances are less. We have 3 helping verbs. One is should. Second one is could. And the third one, many of you may know, might. When you look at the sky, you see a few clouds. You feel the chances are more or less for it to rain. A few clouds. Chances are less. Then will you say it may rain or it might rain? It might rain. A lot of clouds, dark clouds, what will you say? It may rain. I hope you got the difference. Let us go back to the editorial. Science award should aim. It talks about the first function, not the second function. Science award should aim to encourage more young scientists. A general thing, obviously. After a delay of nearly a year, the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research has announced the winners of the Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar prizes with a legacy. Have you underlined the word legacy? Already we have got this word. Tell me what is the meaning of the word legacy? Something that you get from generations down and something that is part of your culture, part of your country. Cultural legacy, write one combination. Then perhaps when someone says India is known for its cultural legacy, means what? Something that has been coming down the line many generations together, and we take a lot of pride when we talk about that. Then what is the word we use? Legacy. Have you got the meaning? Which part of speech is it? Noun. It talks about with a legacy of over half a century. That means they're giving these awards, they have been doing for the last 50 years. Half a century means what? For the last 50 years. With a legacy of over half a century, the awards, they comprise. How many of you have underlined the word comprise? Please underline, important, put a star mark. They have given in a few exams. First you write the word consist. After that write the preposition of. You can say consist of. Below that you write comprise. Write off and strike it off. Comprise of is not the right combination. Consist of is correct. Comprise of wrong. That you have to know. That way it is important. They comprise, so what do they comprise? The award or the prize? A cash prize, a citation. Right, underline the word citation. And which part of speech is it? Noun. First you write the word CITE. Below that you write the word QUOTE. You know these two words, quote, cite, from this related word citation. When they give the award, usually they mention why the award has been given, what work the scientist has done, and why he deserves that award. Everything is written, that is called a citation. Prize comprises what? A cash prize, citation, and salary perks. Have you underlined the word perks? What does it mean? Write the word incentives. Incentives. When you perform well based on your designation, you may have a few perks, means incentives. They may give a petrol allowance or house rent allowance, something else. These come under perks. What you get besides the salary, imagine your salary is about 50,000, but you may get 50,000 plus, let's say another 10,000. That 10,000 in the form of perks. Have you got the meaning? And once you take up, I'm sure you know this. Once you take up the job, you understand. Usually, we ask the question, what are the perks? Besides the salary, what are the perks? Based on the perks, also, some people decide whether to take up the job or not. I hope you got the meaning. So, what does a prize comprise? A cash prize, a citation, and salary perks are awarded annually to scientists under, what is the age limit here? 45, with outstanding work. Underline the word outstanding. Outstanding means what? Extraordinary. Very good, I appreciate. Write the word extraordinary. Outstanding work. Sometimes what happens, some people are not good at English. Some educators also. Don't ask me who and all. I am not talking about this institute. A university. In the past, once there was, it happened actually, a postman came. The professor wanted to say, the postman is standing out. What is the actual sentence? The postman is standing out. He said, the postman is outstanding. Meaning changes. Outstanding work in the fields of biology, chemistry, engineering, mathematics, medicine, earth sciences, and physical sciences. All these come under pure sciences. Some of India's most accomplished scientists, underline the word accomplished, an important word. First you write the form accomplish. Tell me which part of speech is it? Accomplish is a, now already you have been writing the parts of speech. Raise your standards. Don't simply write a verb. Write whether it is a regular verb or an irregular verb. Which one is this? Very good, I appreciate that. A regular verb, accomplished, means what? To achieve something great. And when it comes to English, you have to learn the combinations as well, right? Two combinations. In this context, obviously, accomplished scientist, but write another combination, accomplished writer. Writers, some writers get a lot of awards. Then what do you say? Accomplished writer. One more example, accomplished actor. I hope you're writing the combinations. Some of India's most accomplished scientists have been awardees. Underline, have been awardees. Answer immediately, which tense is this? Right, present perfect. But is it active voice or passive voice? Right, active voice, not passive voice. Whenever you see been, don't think passive voice. Write two sentences. She has been a student. She has been a student since July. She has been given the material. She has been given the material. Both the sentences are in present perfect. But first one is in active voice or passive voice? First one is in active voice. What is the sentence pattern that goes with present perfect? Subject plus have or has plus verb past participle form. Usually we use an action verb or a main verb. But sometimes in place of an action verb or a main verb, we use a helping verb. What is a helping verb here? The primary auxiliary be. What is the past participle form of be? Being. That you have to tell yourself. Coming to the second sentence, is it active voice or passive voice? How can you say it is passive voice? She has been what? Given. That is a clue for you. You got to be a little careful. Some of India's most accomplished scientists have been awardees, and it is not a stretch to say, please underline, it is not a stretch to say. What do you understand from that? Tell me. It is not a stretch to say. It means the writer wants to say, I am not exaggerating. Write the word. What is this word I have written? Exaggerate. Exaggerate means what? Make something look bigger, greater, more in number. Imagine there was an accident. Unfortunately, 10 people died. Someone comes and says, major accident, 20 people died. What is the actual number? 10. What does he say? 20. So what has he done? Exaggerated the number. Have you got the meaning? So the writer tells us it is not a stretch to say that they are akin. Underline the word akin. Akin, I'm sure you all know, we have got many a time. Tell me, what does it mean? Please write the word similar. Akin means what? Similar to. Akin to, similar to. Why does he say that? It is not a stretch to say that they are akin to an Indian Nobel and fairly coveted. You all know when it comes to sciences, humanities also, which is the most coveted award internationally, Nobel Prize, obviously. So, comparing this particular award with Nobel Prize is like exaggerating in a way. So he says it is not a stretch to say, it is not exaggeration. In a way, it deserves to be called Indian Nobel Prize. Have you got the meaning now? But there's one important word here. Have you underlined the word coveted? That's an important word. And try to guess the part of speech. Which part of speech is it? I'll give the combination coveted prize, coveted post, adjective, right? Adjective means most sought after. Generally, we use this. Some people, they prepare for civil services. There are about 28 services. All these are known as bureaucrats. And what is the number one service? IAS. IAS, we say the most coveted post. Means what? The most sought after post. People want to become an IAS officer. Yes or no? The most coveted. This award also among the scientific community, the most coveted. Is there any problem? No. Shall I go back to the editorial? Fine. So, you got the meaning of that. The writer says it is not an exaggeration to say they are equivalent to Nobel Prizes. It was unusual then. Unusual. It was unusual. Which tense is that? Past tense. It was unusual then, last year, when the CSIR did not announce awards despite. Have you underlined the word despite? Tell me, why should you underline? Why is it important? They have given in many exams a common error. We all know in spite of. Using the same logic, a lot of people write despite of. Is this right or wrong? Not correct. They have given many a time. And a lot of people write in spite of. Is this right or wrong? Immediate answer. This is also wrong. You have to write in spite of 3 separate words. Please make a note. They have given in a few exams. In spite of 3 separate words, not 2 words. Both the words express a contrast. Then you may ask, sir, what is the difference? Despite is a little more formal than in spite of. That also you have to know. You may ask why. See, whatever I say here, I say from the exam point of view, and you have to make a note. You may not get a chance again. I've just said despite is a little more formal than in spite of. Why should you make a note of that? In one exam, they gave a question, blank, and 5 words, 3 words not relevant. You can easily eliminate. The candidates had to choose between despite and in spite of. Both have the same function. What is the function? Contrast. Then which one will you select? If you know the fact that despite is a little more formal than in spite of, you will prefer the word despite. Otherwise, you will lose 1 mark. So be alert and write whatever I say. That will help in the long run. I hope you got the subtle difference between these two. Here, the writer questions, it was unusual then, last year, when the CSIR did not announce awards, despite the winners having already been picked. Underline having already been picked. Put the word already in brackets. Now focus on having been picked. Is it active voice or passive voice? Please write passive voice. Having picked, active voice. Having been picked, passive voice. Before September 26, the Institute's Foundation Day, and traditionally the date on which the year's winners are announced. So they are important awards. How come CSIR did not announce last year, in spite of the fact they selected the awardees, but they did not announce? That is a bit surprising, the writer says. The background to this was, so what could be the reason behind? The editorial tries to provide the reason behind for not announcing the awards. In spite of the fact they have chosen the awardees, but they did not announce. What could be the possible reason? The background to this was the government's decision to prune prices. Have you underlined the word prune? Write the meaning. Prune actually goes with, first you write the word gardening. And we use ing form as a noun. Write the word pruning. Pruning technique, it can be an adjective. Pruning means what? Cutting down. If something grows a branch or a twig, you cut down. Actually, this pruning technique goes with, how many of you know, please write the word bonsai. How many of you know the meaning of the word bonsai? Bonsai means what? Dwarf tree. How do they do that? The tree's age could be 200 years or 400 years. In China and Japan, family tradition. Imagine a tree of 400 years, this size, one generation cannot handle. First generation, second generation, third generation. Only then you have a tree that is about 400 years. How do they do that? With the help of pruning technique. and those trees are called dwarf trees. You got the meaning? But why I'm giving this particular word? Imagine a bonsai means a dwarf tree, small tree, and sometimes you come across people also. Average height is about 5'6", 5'7", but some guys could be very short. What is the word? You can call that person also a dwarf, but there's a better word. Write the word. I wanted you guys to get that word, so I had to spend some time. Midget. Midget, dwarf, both mean the same. Many students know the word dwarf, they may not know the word midget, an important word. So it talks about the background to this was the government's decision to prune prices to scientists. What do you understand in this context? Prune prices means what? Bring down the number of prizes, maybe because of financial constraints, thereby reducing its prestige. Now they bring down the number of awards, the prestige also comes down. It is like a chain reaction. A Ministry of Home Affairs MHA communique. Have you underlined the word communique? Please respond. If you remember, does it sound familiar or not familiar? We got last week, I did one editorial related to G20 and we got the word communique. What does it mean? A public announcement given to the media, usually by the head of a country. Here simply you could write a public announcement, a public statement given to the media. They call the media and tell the media. Then we say communique, an important word. Suggested. There were plans to announce one big award. Another reason could be you cut down 10 prizes, bring it down to 5. In place of those 5, you announce a big award. So in a way, you can justify the decision. It talks about the same. There were plans to announce one big award akin to. Again, akin to means what? Similar to Nobel Prize. But none has been announced so far. Underline the word none, put a star mark. Also underline has been announced. Which tense is that? Present perfect active voice or passive voice? Alright, passive voice. But I told you to put a star mark, the word none. Why? Answer my question, which part of speech is it? First question. It's a pronoun. Second question, which type of pronoun is it? Please write indefinite pronoun. There are some important indefinite pronouns. What are they? None, one, everyone, someone, somebody, no one, nobody. Indefinite means what? When I say she is listening, I hope so. Whom am I talking about? Specific, she. He is writing, specific or not specific? But when I say someone is going to come, specific, not specific? So indefinite means that. And two indefinite pronouns are very important from the exam point of view. One is none. Tell me why is it important? None usually takes a plural verb. But if it is followed by a phrase like of the students, of the boys, of the girls, of the employees, of the tourists, it takes a singular verb. That you have to recollect. What is the verb used here? But none has been announced. Means none of the prizes. Write the expression. None of the prizes has been announced. When we use none of the prizes, none takes a singular verb or a plural verb. Singular verb. So they have used the same. None has been announced so far. While the MHA ultimately decided to retain, I am sure you all know the meaning of the word retain. Retain means what? Hold back. Keep with you. The team has retained the title. I mean the title is with the team. Retain the SSB prizes. The government's long silence on its future did not foment, underline the word FOMENT. This is a new word, put a star mark. See what happens here. I hope you guys are listening. As we do, you have been coming for the last 2 months, I suppose, the Hindu. Initially, you may get about 15 new words. After 1 month, the number comes down 10, then 8. Slowly, the number goes down. What is the reason? Same context, same words, they get repeated. Last year earthquake, this year earthquake, same words, no change. They have the word banks, in fact. And here, on and off, you come across new words. This word I have come across for the first time. Can you believe that? So whenever we come across a new word which sounds a little odd, we don't use regularly, then you have to write separately an important word. And you have to spend some time, revise, make your own examples. Only then you remember. Otherwise, you forget after some time. And there's every possibility they may give the same word in the exam. You don't remember. Does it make any sense learning the word? No. So write the meaning. It is a part of speech is a verb, and write the meaning. It means to instigate. What is the meaning of the word instigate? Also write stir up. Usually I give one word, instigate, write the word insight. Insight, instigate. Who has said that? Very good. I was about to write. That's what I expect from you guys. Provoke, stir up, instigate, incite. All the words you have to recollect. So no response from the scientific community. Have you copied all these words? Here it says, the government's long silence on its future did not foment concern. No reaction among scientists of their likely discontinuation. Underline the word among. Tell me what is the difference between and among. Between goes with two things or two persons. Among, more than. You all can answer, I know for sure. Now answer, what is the difference between among and amongst? Write these two words first. What is the difference between among and amongst? Very simple, sir. The spelling is different. Tell me what is the difference? Imagine in one exam they gave a question. Write the sentence. I'll make it brief for you. It was divided as blank as, and brackets they give two words, among, amongst. Which one will you choose? How many of you say amongst? Raise your hands. Wonderful. Why? That's $1 million question. Because what is the word after the blank as? Which letter does it begin with? Consonantal letter or a vowel letter? That means something went wrong. That means what? If the word begins with a vowel letter, we should use amongst. Based on that, what is the answer over there? Right. Underline these two, then you can remember. Amongst us. Let us go back to. I think first part of the editorial is over. So much is there. Science awards, unlike those given for, say, athletics, are not meant to peat. Underline the word peat. Write the meaning. One of the meanings, public function. Public function. Or something celebrated in public. Science awards, unlike those given for, say, athletics, are not meant to peat. No public function as such. To the outcome of a defined, demarcated contest, such as a match or a race. They are not. You cannot compare these awards with the awards given to the athletes or sports people. Why? But these awards are a recognition for industrious. Underline the word industrious. Which part of speech is it? Adjective, right? Adjective. What does it mean? Hardworking. Nothing to do with an industry. Industrious student means what? Hardworking student. Hardworking. Industrious work done over time. It is not that the scientist gets the award based on his work for 1 year or 2 years. They see for many years, then finally they get the fruits of the work, then they get the award. Over time, that have led, underline, that have led. Which tense is this again? Present perfect. What is the main verb here? Lead, led, led. that have led to significant advances. Underline the word significant. What does it mean? Important advances in science or technology. They are meant to encourage the winners to persevere, an important word. It goes with you people. What is the meaning of the word persevere? To work very hard in spite of difficulties. Persevere means work very hard in spite of difficulties. Imagine while preparing for competitive exams, invariably you come across a lot of problems. And some people on the way they give up. But some people, irrespective of the problems, they work hard, they emerge victorious. Then what is that called? Perseverance, noun form. Persevere, verb. I hope you got the meaning of that. It goes with you people. Against the uncertainty inherent. Have you underlined the word inherent? Part of speech? Guess. Write adjective. Inherent means inbuilt. Write the word inbuilt. Also write the word intrinsic. Inbuilt, intrinsic, inherent. All these go with on a particular plane. Intrinsic, inbuilt. Also write the word innate. Innate also an important word. Part of one's personality. Have you copied? It talks about the same. Inherent in the scientific enterprise, which on average is a financially less rewarding career than several other options a trained scientist could have embarked upon. Underline embarked upon. Embark goes with a trip, a journey. Embark means to take up a trip or to go on a trip. Usually it goes in olden days, they would use this. It would go with, write the word voyage. You all know the meaning of the word voyage. Nowadays we don't use that word. Olden days it was quite popular. Embarked upon. This year's, how many winners? 12 winners are all male. So it looks like gender bias. With 11 from centrally funded institutions. Within these two, the winners are largely from the IITs. While the chosen candidates are certainly deserving, the writer is very cautious. He says all the 12 winners male, one thing. Second, they are from IITs. So it is like you may think the writer is going to point out. Then to be a little careful, he or she says, while the chosen candidates are certainly deserving, there are surely many more women or researchers from state universities who deserve a recognition for their work, obviously. There are some talented people not recognized. What is the word you use? Write the word obscure. Obscure has two different meanings. One meaning vague. Obscure means what? Vague. Ambiguous. Another meaning not known to many people. I usually give the example of a writer. There's a writer highly talented, but a lot of people don't know about that writer. Then what do you say? Obscure writer. Another example I give, hill station. Better than popular hill stations, but many people don't know about that hill station. Then what do you say? Obscure hill station. An important word. Coming back to this, what does it talk about? And so rather than reducing the number of awards, there is actually a stronger case for expanding the remit of these awards. Given the government's tireless espousal, underline the word espousal, means promoting something, encouraging something, or reiterating something. Espousal of what? Its commitment to diversity and expanding opportunities to those beyond enclaves of privilege. Enclaves means buildings in this context, campus, universities of privilege. Scientists, where do you come across? Obviously, universities. Privilege, have you underlined the word? Write the meaning of the word privilege. Privilege means exclusive right. Some people have the privileges. Then what does it mean? Exclusive rights. Privileges of the members. How does the editorial end? The success of India's Chandrayaan 3 mission demonstrates that great victories and moments of triumph. Triumph we have got many a time. What does it mean? Great victory are built on consistent encouragement while prodding. Right? The meaning of the word prodding, don't take the literal meaning. Prodding means step heavily. Step heavily. Step heavily where? The editorial says, while prodding along the dark alleys. Alley means a narrow road of uncertainty and failure. When you take science and research, dark alleys of uncertainty and failure. 100 experiments, one may get success. You all know that. I'm sure you all know Isaac Newton. So once he said, what is success? 99% perspiration, 1% inspiration. Perspiration means what? Sweating. 99% sweating, working very hard. 1% inspiration. So they conduct a lot of experiments. They may become successful, may not become successful. Become successful, they become celebrities. Otherwise, non-entities. Very simple. An interesting editorial you may get as a passage in prelims or mains about science and technology, the awards, and try to develop the contextual awareness. We still have 5 minutes. Shall we go to the exercises? What is the first one here? Try to lengthy sentences, no division. You got to read carefully. Neighboring states have taken preparatory steps to ensure that porous borders do not bring the infection across Kerala. These are difficult in the sense, I did not do this editorial yesterday, here. New context, but try to spot the error. If you get it right, wonderful. Do you think there is an error or no error? There is an error. What is that? Please write the word, do not bring the infection across Kerala, from Kerala. One preposition is missing, which is that? Do not bring the infection across from where? From Kerala. The word from has to be there. Imagine the same sentence in the exam, not easy to handle under pressure. Read the second one. Research has shown that anthropogenic activity has a definite hand to play on zoonotic spillovers. First, you underline the expression, a definite hand to play. If you understand, catch that, you can spot the error. It's a standard expression. He has a hand to play in or on. Here the problem is with the preposition. What is the correct preposition? A definite hand to play in zoonotic spillovers. Go to the third one. In the case of Nipah, a rapid expansion of agricultural activity in original habit zones of the fruit bats has repeatedly shown up on post-factor analysis. Very good. I appreciate that. Some students have said immediately it is not habit, it should be habitats or habitat. Habitat zones. What is the difference between habit and habitat? Habit, you do something regularly. There is a saying in English. What is it? Habits die hard. Means what? Very difficult to change your habits. And habitat means a home of a plant or an animal. Home means don't say, so how can they have a home? What does it mean? A place where a plant or animal can survive comfortably. Go to the last one. While experiences from the prior outbreaks have given medical teams a toolkit of protocols, constant vigil can only be the guard against such outbreaks. See, all these are important questions. Unfamiliar, also try to spot the error. Those who have learned grammar You must have learned adverbs. Whenever you come across the word only, you got to be careful. I usually tell students, only has to be used before whatever it describes. And the common error, she has solved 2 problems only. Right or wrong? Wrong. She has solved only 2 problems. Based on that, here, constant vigil can be only the only God. Constant vigil can only be, please strike off the word only, can be the only God against such outbreaks. See if you can answer the next one quickly. Shall I extend 5 minutes? Ah, wonderful. I appreciate that. Please have a look at underline the word lightning. There are 2 words which are very important: lightning, lightening. Lighten is a verb. Here, whenever there is a storm, you experience 2 things. One is thunder, the other one lightning. Careful with the spelling. Underline the word lightning. You don't see the letter E. Lightning is unlikely to strike the same place twice. But the Nipah virus is again. There's a clue for you. Tell me what is the clue for you. Havoc. So havoc, what are you supposed to use? A wreaking havoc. A wreaking havoc is an idiomatic expression. What does it mean? Cause a lot of damage. First word is what? Wreak havoc. And the 4th, outbreak. On a large scale, we use the word outbreak. Very good. First one is B. Second one is A. Go to the next one. Outbreak of the disease in Kerala over the last 5 years, caused by a zoonotic, means from animals to humans. Spillover, spreading, the transmission of, here D, and pathogens, C. From animals to humans, the closest reservoir of the virus is fruit bats. With 2 persons dying of Nipah this week and whatever, and being hospitalized, disturbing memories from the terrifying. Remember the other day we got terrible, terrific. Now one more word. What is it? Terrify. Terrify means frighten. Terrifying. What is the last one? Have surfaced. Have you got all correct? Wonderful. Try to respond quickly. I don't know, because yesterday I did not do the editorial. See if you can. I think these are from related to Chandrababu Naidu. Probity means what? Honest. Don't tell the part of speech, tell the key word meaning. Scam, fraud, contestation, argue or dispute, malfeasance, wrongdoing by an official, allegations. Tell the synonym. Accusations, point out someone has done something wrong. Sifting, check thoroughly. Veer, sudden change in the direction. Very good. Vendetta, revenge, political vendetta, political revenge. Transcend, go beyond the limits. Regime, current government. Hostility, enmity or antagonistic nature. Predecessor, one who was a CM earlier. Requisite, condition, a condition. And purportedly, seems to be right, may not be. But you can also think of the word allegedly. And zeal, enthusiasm, replicate, produce a copy of something. Onus, an important word. Responsibility, cynicism, negative attitude, pessimistic attitude. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.